All right, starting with our council activity reports, I had a little brain fart on everything that I've done the last 2 weeks. I apologize.
Not that much.
No, but there were some things. I'm gonna go to Neil and it'll come back to me because it's just a blank
Well,
slate.
mine's real easy. It was not much of anything. A few activities with Town and Country Days. Other than that, there was no meetings that I recall.
All right.
I did have a Green Roof meeting and nothing real exciting there. They did get a grant that they got a 60-inch TV and they're updating the microphone system.
Okay. Jean,
Mine is pretty simple. All I did was go to, besides some Town and Country Days, I went to the hospital open house.
thank you. Paul,
I have nothing to report as all of my meetings were canceled.
all right. Well, I took a look back at my schedule and thanks Jean for the hospital. I wasn't able to make that, but I had talked to Craig. I just had some personal obligations that I had to put forward there. We did have a lodging tax meeting though last week, an exciting new initiative that we're trying. I saw in a hotel up north where hotel rooms had little postcards of the area in them. So people who were staying in the hotel could take a postcard and hand it in at the front desk and the hotel would mail it for you. So we're gonna try that as a lodging committee and give some postcards with pictures taken by local photographers of the area and see if that can help drive some interest and things like that. It's at least a cheap option. Otherwise, nothing really new to report there. So, department heads. Oh, Paul, you're first on my list, so over there.
Thank you. So not a lot to really report on. As most of you guys know, Sergeant Hokinson took a sabbatical through the mid part of May into the beginning part of June. I was back in time for Town and Country Days. I spoke with him a little bit about kind of how that went for him and if, whether or not he felt it was effective. And by all indications, everything turned out well with that. I think it'll have the intended effect. He came back more relaxed, rejuvenated, and ready to go. The department's had quite a bit of training here recently. Officer Davis is currently at a defensive tactics use of force instructor course. He completed some training for baton instructor. So for those officers that are carrying that, we can self-train in-house. Officer Hokinson continued, Sergeant Hokinson continued his training on his supervision. I had a course as well in labor negotiations and contracts. And then Town and Country Days, just to kind of give you an update. Really didn't have too many issues with either Town and Country Days or Backdraft Bash.
Good. Great. Any questions for the chief? All right, Mike.
Calls as of June 16th, we're up to 63 calls. You can see the breakdown there. Update on staffing, we hired 2 more candidates. So we are full staff right now. I will have a guy retiring in December, so hopefully the other one that we interviewed comes through and we can get her hired too. Training in May was ventilation and chimney fire training. It was with our new training instructor, so we learned a lot of new things that we were never taught before in the past, so that was really good. We did water ball and touch a truck at Family Fun Night. We also had the trucks in the parade. Old Unit 12 is currently up for bids. It ends June 30th, I believe. We will have water games and another touch a truck night at the Unite to Unite. And Backdraft Bass was this past weekend. It was a little less than last year, but There was a lot of stuff going on, but it was a good night again. The weather turned out being good. We made the decision early to have it outside, and it turned out to be a good decision, so. And that is it.
Thank you. Any questions for the chief?
Oh, one other thing, we did get permission on the house yesterday to go ahead and burn it, so the burn will be, September 7th on the house.
All right.
Which house is that?
The one out on 263rd by, Anderson Movers, just
Okay.
north of town a little bit.
Sure. And you got a committee putting together on the rescue?
Yep, they've been, nothing new to go on that yet. They've just been going to other departments and seeing what they have and go from there.
And then it looks like later we're appointing Brody as your secretary.
Yep. Sorry it took so long, it just slipped my mind that I had to run it through council.
It's all good. I don't know the, you're welcome to stick around, but if you wanted to take off beforehand.
Yeah, I got another meeting I gotta get to, so,
Thanks, Mike.
okay. Any other questions?
Not for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
You too. Ron?
Okay, thank you. The 2024 pickup that we had ordered back in February, they told us it was going to be July, August. It has been in now for a week or so. It did bring it to St. Cloud to get a little rust proofing and the utility box put on it. Reminder, the Concert in the Park series starts on July the 11th. Just a little update on the AMPI Phase 2, haven't heard anything about it lately, and the holdup on that has been just getting access for AMPI to that back lot. We think we've got it figured out, we do have a meeting tomorrow with them, so hopefully that'll be coming forward shortly. Again, reminder, the lead and copper, the inventory is coming up here, and so residents will be receiving the letter, so we ask everybody to please process that as soon as possible. Downtown committee is Wednesday night. Airport show, that is August 24th. Lots of activity out at the airport. Currently, we do have one empty hangar. That is it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Ron? Tarek?
All right, yeah, not busy the past couple of weeks with meetings, for sure. Centricare Open House, I was there as well. Had a meeting with the Central Minnesota Housing Partnership, which is an organization based out of St. Cloud to try to build affordable housing. So we talked about what's available around here and what could be done, so that's still ongoing. The lodging tax meeting, of course, you and I were there. The consultant is in town this week that's doing the hotel market study. Her and I did a tour of the town, and she has several meetings set up and with companies and businesses as well as the hotel and the resort. So we should know more about that in the coming week or two. And then finally, we met with the people behind starting a brewery in town. So they're looking to get things moving probably within the next few months, and hopefully it goes well.
Thank you. Any questions for Tarek? Great. I'd also mention that last week, Centricare was gracious enough to keep us informed on when they were doing a test landing for Lifelink. They brought in the Lifelink helicopter on Tuesday the 12th. They were going to do it on the 11th, but weather didn't work out for them on the 11th. So they notified us. They brought a helicopter in. I was able to be there. The chief was there for the takeoff as well. I parked my car right in front of the pad and said if they sandblast my car, it's harder for them to say no to repainting the mayor's car than somebody else's. And I think overall, it's fine. If I had a house there, I wouldn't be worried about it. I wouldn't want to be out on the street every time something came in and took off, though. There was some dirt that was kicked up, that can't be denied. But I don't know that I'd be overly worried about damage. So that's all I have. Moving on then to our open forum. I'm not seeing anybody here. Okay. Our consent agenda includes the minutes on page 1, the vouchers on our update totaling $299,174.98. Those came in late because of staff vacations, liquor store clerk staff change up, and a cannabinoid license. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'd like item D to be discussed.
Item D, we'll move that into new business. I'm gonna put that at I, because I was planning on adding an H under new business to talk about the park task force. So we'll move the 2024 cannabinoid license under I. Then with A through C, is there a motion to approve?
So approved.
Motion by Hersberg, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Soini. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries. All right, the resolution on the sale of property for the Rodenwald property. Tarek, you want to talk to us about this, or?
Yeah, if you remember, Mark made an offer previously on a property which someone else had made an offer on, and we did accept the other person's offer. So they did come back to us and make an offer on another lot, which the person who had, or the developer who had the first right of refusal also was willing to give this one up.
So we are in effect approving an entirely new lot.
Yes.
And at the last meeting, the council voted to accept the purchase agreement.
Yeah.
So this is just a resolution kind of confirming that.
All right.
I'll make the motion to approve resolution 2024-19, approving the sale of 255 Kira Court to Mark Rodenwald.
All right, motion by Soini, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Hersberg. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Carries. All right, Tarek's going to talk to, oh, sorry.
Fire
I'm
department.
getting ahead of myself. Fire Department Secretary, looking to appoint Brody Strand as the secretary. We can discuss or we can entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to appoint Brody Strand as Fire Department Secretary.
Motion by Hersberg, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Soini. Any further discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Carries. I think for future note, that can go on the consent agenda. All right, lease extension at the liquor store, Tarek.
All right, as you know, the lease is coming up. It was an 18-month lease. So Bill and I discussed it, and I know Bill discussed it with some liquor board members as well, and we kind of agreed that let's do the same thing. Let's do another 18-month, hopefully the same terms, and we were fortunate enough that, yeah, they agreed to the same terms and same lease rate. So what you have in front of you is basically an identical lease. All it is extending it for another 18 months.
All right. Looking to extend our lease at the liquor store. We don't have another building, so it makes sense to me.
Hopefully then something will be in the works. I'll make the motion to approve the liquor store lease extension with Teal's Management Group, Inc. through December 31st, 2025.
Motion by Soini is stated on the action sheet. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Thielen. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Carries. Right, life jacket station out at Veterans Park. Ron, is this you?
Okay, thank you. The Coronis Eager Beaver 4-H group they were at their last Park and Tree Board meeting, and they brought up for their Community Pride project to do a life jacket stand. They'd like to put that right beside the kayak stand out at the beach, and members there all felt that would be a great amenity and would see no reason why not to approve it. So the Park and Tree Board has recommended it.
Well, Gene, thanks for her question. Bill, am I being hyper worried about whether or not this creates a liability concern if there's something wrong with the life jacket? I mean, that's why we have insurance, I guess, but,
Yeah, I think that, I assume the signage is gonna be clear that this is a 4-H club. Yeah, I mean, you're authorizing them to do it, and it might make sense for us to make sure that they are, approved flotation devices. I assume they would, but, I mean, it might make sense for us to make sure that that's true, but beyond that, I wouldn't worry too much about it.
I know what my question was. When we were reading the articles, the materials needed, it sounded like we're buying them, but
No.
they're buying them?
Yeah.
But it kind of reads that way, so. We would need, so I just thought,
And it would just have to be Coast Guard approved jackets.
yeah. ones at the boat.
I'm good with it. I think it's a great idea. I'm glad somebody's doing this. And I acknowledge that sometimes I can just be hyper aware of liability issues, so. I think we're good. I think this is great.
If any disappear that's there, we have nothing in the game.
Yep. Correct. They will replace them if they do need to be replaced.
Get
Well-
changed or whatever.
They could disappear, I mean, that's,
They're aware.
Yep.
All right.
I'll make the motion to authorize Cronus Eager Beavers 4-H Club to install a life jacket station at Veterans Park.
Motion by Soini is stated on the action sheet. Is there a second?
second.
Seconded by Hersberg. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? None. Motion carries. All right. Chief, back to you. Hiring a new officer.
Yes.
Take it back.
What?
Nope, there it is. I skipped too many pages. You're good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's gotta be something.
Okay. So back on May 31st, the Policies and Procedures Committee conducted interviews with Adam Cater for the position of police officer. At that time, they recommended moving Mr. Cater on through the hiring process. The psychological background and physical have been completed on him. And it's been reported back that there are no issues with any of those. So we're bringing him forward to the council for recommendation for hire effective immediately.
All right.
And Mr. Cater is here.
Welcome to Painesville.
Thanks.
Can you set up on a apartment lease that's going to be vacant in the near future?
Well, we are working on potential housing options. Assuming the council approves it.
Somebody might have a spare bedroom, right?
See, it's when you say things like assuming the council approves, that just makes me want to just
Well, you
go
know,
a little bit.
it's government, I mean, so.
I'll make the motion to hire Adam Cater as full-time police officer at Painesville Police Department, grade 9, step 1, $29.15 per hour, effective immediately.
The motion by Hersberg is stated on the action sheet. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Thielen. All right, any discussion? Paul, I'm going to ask you just for the record, this is budgeted and everything? all approved?
Yes.
Okay. All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Welcome to Painesville again.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
You can start yesterday, right?
We're lucky to have him. He had other job offers.
I thought he was the guy from the Northland Securities there for a second.
What?
Not too many police officers show up dressed like that, so. Well done.
Thank you.
See him in uniform from now on.
Yeah.
All right, the DNR registration and titling agent. Hark, anything else to tell us about this? We're just kind of renewing what we already have, yes?
Yes, renewing the license that allows us to do the permits and stuff for, I think, the boats and things like that. It's just a 5-year agreement, same as before.
I'm looking for a motion to approve the DNR registration and titling contract.
So moved.
Motion by Soini, as stated on the action sheet. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Hersberg. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Ron, you want to surplus this truck so soon?
Yes.
Okay.
It's 2011.
Yep, it's a 2011 F-250 with the utility box on it. Obviously, min bid has worked very well for us in the past, so I would recommend going that direction again.
Recommendation is to surplus this on min bid with a minimum bid of $5,000. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Hersberg. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Soini. Any further discussion? That 90s half-ton that you've got, I assume your truck will move into that slot whenever you decide to get a new one?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Calling the question. All those in favor of surplusing indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Right. On to page 2 of our update, the TIF Professional Services Agreement with Northland Securities. Mark, can you tell us a little bit about this?
Yeah, we received a request for another TIF from Nelson Plastic. They're doing an expansion, similar building that they already have up right now. So obviously it means the company's doing well, they're looking to expand. And they already own the lot that's next to them, so they're gonna build on that, and they're requesting TIF. I had them apply and submit us with the retainer check, which they did, which covers the cost of having our financial advisor review and work on the TIF document. So the agreement in front of you is the standard TIF agreement, so we can get started on this.
His other TIF is paid off then?
Yep,
Or it would have been rolled into this?
yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, so for right now, we're just looking at approving the service agreement so that we can get started. We're not actually approving the TIF
Nope,
yet.
not yet.
Seems to me like we should at least have Jessica take a look into this. We'll probably move forward at that point.
Motion to approve the professional services agreement between the City of Painesville and Northland Securities for TIF District Number 13-17.
Motion by Soini is stated on the action sheet. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Thielen. Any further discussions? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Motion carries. All right, I wanted to add a new business H, the Parks Task Force. A few weeks ago, we talked about thanking Devin Savage for creating the Parks Task Force and getting a group of volunteers to go around and clean up and help maintain our parks. I saw on social media, and Ron, hopefully you have some better information, that apparently he and one other person have been the only ones showing up to do some work, and I think the sense is sort of, why keep on if nobody else cares?
I know the first one Megan went to, and then the second and third one I went to.
Right. So I'm wondering, number one, is there a way that we can potentially certify that as a formal group to hopefully drive more support? Or if not, what's the best way of thanking Devin for the work that he's done on it? And we might not have answers tonight, but I wanted to bring it up and at least publicly acknowledge that I'm grateful for the work that Devin has done and see if there's a way that we can keep this going.
I would agree, let's try to keep it going. I mean, the work they do, if we just clean up the beach, if that's all they do, it's a huge asset to us. So I don't know if we could help him advertise, or I don't know if we need flyers out, or,
You think it would pay to talk to Tom Cushel, see how he did with the trail guards? Because that's been pretty successful.
I'm sure it would not hurt.
No, I'm sure it wouldn't. Well, I don't know who gets to talk to Tom.
Devin?
Is he gonna, would it be during the week, or I see the last time was a Saturday?
It's
I thought he
usually a
was doing
Friday morning.
Fridays, yeah, he's been doing Friday mornings.
Because if it's a Friday, I just was thinking, and Ron would have to approve, well, maybe one of your part-timers could work with the group for an hour. It would give them an extra hand and somebody kind of familiar with what goes on at the beach and whatnot.
It's not the beach though, they do all the, they.
Well, whatever needs to be done, trimming, weed whacking, whatever, raking. I'm just thinking, or do your part-timers normally work Friday?
Yes,
So one could have maybe do an hour with them and give them another hand.
Doesn't take more than an hour.
I guess I would like to see if we can, I mean, I get it. When you're the only one doing something
It's
and people aren't showing up, it's exhausting. It's way more exhausting than the work itself. And I say that as somebody who hasn't had the opportunity to go out there and help him, so I get it. I'm also at fault. But if there's a way where he can, or if he's willing to continue doing it, I'd like to see it, and we can throw, I mean, you and Tarek have discretionary budgets. If you wanted to throw up some flyers or do some formal advertising, I think I'd be fine with that. And sending over a part-time, whatever we need to do. Or if nothing else, just finding, if it's done, I get that too, and just finding the appropriate way of saying, thanks for the work that's been done. So,
Would there be an age limit for the helpers?
I think he's just been calling for everyone.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, everyone.
Just my neighbor kids are always looking for something to do.
Yeah? Yeah, that would be a good source right
Mm-hmm.
there. You have 12 kids or something,
Yeah.
11.
Anyway, that's all I had on that. I don't know that we need a formal motion, but I just wanted to discuss it.
Just to see if we can keep it going.
Yeah, let's keep it going.
All right, and then new business, we did an I, the cannabinoid license from page 4 of the consent agenda. Neil wanted this pulled, so we'll discuss that. Let me just get to it here. We had a license from Quick Trip. They paid the application fee. Looking to approve it like we would do a tobacco license. I don't know, Tarek, if there's more you want to tell us, otherwise I guess I'll ask maybe Neil for some comment.
No, they had contacted me a while ago saying they would like to apply for it, and I sent them the application. They completed it, sent in the check, and, yeah, it was presented to you.
Okay. Neil, you wanted this pulled?
What would this be for? Gummies and,
I think it's primarily beverages, but it could be gummies as well if they want to.
Because that's all it's good for now, at this
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's low THC edibles or drinkables?
Yep.
Same thing we sell at the liquor
Same
store.
as what we sell there now.
I read where the county had a moratorium on, does that affect us or?
I don't think so.
As I understood what we got, and I just got the paper copy today, but they emailed it to me a week ago. It's anything that's unincorporated. So it's anything at the county level and any townships or things that are unincorporated.
And I don't know, I didn't read the county's moratorium, but I can't imagine, well, maybe I could. I mean, I'm not sure that it applies to this, but it could, but I mean, they're all over the place in St. Cloud and other places in the county already.
I think it was till December 31st or,
Yeah.
For the rest of this year, but
and,
yeah.
I think, was
yeah, because there's quite a few already. I mean, they're telling them they can't sell.
was it just on dispensaries though?
I think so.
Yeah.
But not licensing them yet, yeah.
I thought the moratorium was for the dispensaries.
It's not
I
good.
don't think it was for the low THC.
Yeah, probably not.
Right now in the city, the liquor store has these. Any other business?
As far as I know, no, that has applied for a license.
So if they are selling it, they should have a
They
license.
should have a license, yep.
No, I can't find the email I got from Stearns County right now, so. But I'm pretty sure, like we said, that it is for dispensaries.
But you
Yeah, to
can't
them.
have yet, did you?
Right, oh, here it is. Cannabis newsletter.
From Angie Berg.
Yeah. that's what-
Yeah, it's got it right here.
And adopted a moratorium for cannabis businesses. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But this is something that's already legalized and we have a permit to approve it. I think a motion would be in order on the approval of the license.
I'll make the motion to approve the 2024 cannabinoid license for Quick Trip number 5.
There's a motion by Soini to approve the license. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Thielen. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion does carry 3-1. Right. With that, we have our meeting schedule on page 26. Fire department report, as the chief talked about, the police department reports for a few months here, along with information on the TRICAP Energy Assistance Program. And with that, everyone, 6:29, we stand adjourned.